But the question is, how do we personally get the benefits of the forgiveness of sin that Jesus earned universally on the cross?
All right, it is NGN Radio. Marcus in the morning. Got the homie V Squad today hanging out with me, man. It's not often I actually get to come back into the building, but man, when duty calls, it's time to roll out the cameras and get everything for you. So thank you, sir. Thank you, man, for checking out Marcus in the morning. You're getting a visual and a digital version. Before I jump in, V Squad, what's good with you? How you been?
Hey, man, everything is good. Everything is blessed. I'm super excited about the guests we have in here today, man. Y'all are in for a treat.
Yeah, and in the building. Got us out, and it's actually cool in Houston right now.
Right.
So we got up early to come in the building. Flame in the building. What's happening?
Hey, what's going on, gents?
Hey, man, you got your family with you. Introduce.
Got my Brody, man, my DJ and friend, DJ Cole.
What's up, y'all? How you doing?
All right, so, man, bro, it's so much I want to talk to you about. We see social media, just on name recognition, just on industry stuff, things that y'all might have going on. What's the latest with Flame?
A lot. So I got a book coming out July 11th, so I'm super lit about that. I have a project coming out on Luther's Small Catechism in September. I got a Flame project coming out at the end of the year and another EP to my Extra Note series. So we hit the ground running in 2023.
What's the word you just said?
Oh, Extra Notes. It's a Latin phrase.
Okay.
It means outside of us. Just pointing to God's doing work, on our behalf. Yeah. So I've been just unpacking those kind of ideas in short EPs. Yeah. So the latest installment to that will come out at the end of the year.
Is books the way? Is the books the new wave right now? I know KB just dropped a book too. What was the heart behind? Let me get into a book.
Yeah. So really, I'm just telling my journey. So I grew up in a hood, in a inner city, mostly exposed to charismatic sort of prosperity. Theology. Then I moved into a Calvinistic space, and I was camped out there for about 18 years. And then, some of those ideas started to wane. And then I found myself in this random Lutheran space in my life. Yeah. So I'm just helping people understand that journey and how God has just been careful.
Tell people more about that, because I know a lot of people ask and wonder, when you talk about God, Christianity, getting saved, when I die, am I going to heaven? They wonder, okay, what are the different tiers? You got Baptist, you got Christian, you got Lutheran, you got Catholic. So let them know a little bit more about that.
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's an analogy by the big homie C.S. Lewis. He basically said if Christianity is a building, they're just different rooms in the building.
Okay.
So that's kind of what the denominations boil down to. And I guess arguably some are more healthier expressions and some are less healthier expressions. But nonetheless, God is still saving all of us. He's still the hero of the story. So it's not like not being a Christian. It's just as you continue to learn things and kind of tighten up on the sweetness of the gospel, you understand that better and have more assurance.
I tell people all the time, keeping Bible at the core is the most important thing, because a lot of us, if you're black, most of your time you come from a Baptist background, right?
Facts.
So now I'm more into non-denominational. So the music is different, everything is a lot different, but what stays at the core is that Bible. So I absolutely understand. It's different rooms, but it's all in that Christianity, Jesus Christ umbrella. So I feel you.
Big facts.
I love it. NGN Radio, Flame in the building, Marcus in the morning. A behind the beat, behind the music interview, finding out what's deeper than just the music. Now, I got to say this, man. If you never listen to a Christian hip-hop artist or a positive hip-hop artist, this interview is definitely for you. You guys know my story. I come from producing The Breakfast Club, and now when I'm talking to an artist now, I hear the theology, I hear the God talk. Bro, grab a shovel, go back with us.
Okay.
To the beginning.
Let's go.
Before the Flame. We was just talking before the interview. Why the name Flame, why the CHAs, why the God talk over beats, all of that. Just give us that, because it's going to be somebody clicking on the tab like, what?
No, that's real. So definitely grew up just influenced by hip-hop culture, rap music.
Okay.
And as a fan, I then later, probably around 5th grade, was like, man, I want to try my hand at it. So I started doing that, really tried to break into the mainstream market. I had a couple of people locally that took interest in me and a couple of my friends, so they were trying to push us towards the mainstream. But then as I started to age and hitting them teenage years, I started really trying to get deeper into it, so that just, led to a whole nother lifestyle with the music.
It wasn't a buzz in the beginning, though, right?
Nah, it was just, getting out the mud, just talent shows, random opportunities.
When you know there was a gift in it, right? Because everybody is a rapper. Right?
Yeah, it's so interesting. So I had some big homies. The dudes I used to work with were probably in their 20s, and I was around 17, 18. And they actually kind of recruited me out of a group.
Gotcha.
So they came to me like, man, we think you have a unique talent. It was just some of my bros I went to school with. I can't even remember the name of the group. I think it was like Pimp Squad. That was the name. Pimp Squad.
I had to ask that question because in the comments somebody's going to be like, what's the name of that?
They were trying to Google it, trying to send me some footage. But nah, they might try to cancel me. They see some of the footage on YouTube. But nah, so we just little stuff like that. So when they pointed that out to me, it encouraged me. I was like, man, these older dudes see something in me that I don't see in myself.
Yeah.
And then they kind of took me under their wing, cultivated me into being an artist and thinking about the artistic side, not just the lyrics and the bars. So they gave me kind of more of a full panoramic look at the industry and all of that. So from that point, long story short, I became more serious about my faith when my grandmother passed. So at that point, I was like, man, I probably shouldn't be rapping about the same stuff I used to rap about. So then it was just a journey of trying to figure out how to study my Bible, how to communicate my life experience through the Christian lens.
So you didn't grow up Bible thumper, mom, dad, none of that good stuff?
My family was Christian. They definitely influenced me concerning Christ and Christianity, but I didn't grow up in the church. Yeah, I didn't grow up in the church.
And then, man, when you started, I always ask the cliche question. When you started in the CHH space, or you started, man, I got to learn more about the Bible. I want to talk more about it. What was your influence then? Who? Like,
ooh, excellent.
I got to always ask the question.
The influences, you got to know.
Now, big hat tip to the group Cross Movement.
Yes.
So they were just the OGs, man.
Yeah.
I feel like they laid the blueprint in terms of, doing the business side, but also doing the ministry side.
Yeah.
So they wanted you to care about both, which was sort of forward thinking at the time, because at the point that I'm thinking back to, it was really more about just being super lit for Jesus.
Yeah.
And you didn't really care about the business side.
Yeah.
But they had us like slow down and think about that.
Exactly.
Royalties, publishing, all that. So they put us on game early. So then, I ended up signing a record deal with them. So I put out my first 4 projects under Cross Movement.
You learned the business before you signed that deal? Or it's like
Yeah, in fact, one of my homies, shout out to my homie JR, like, we was on it. Like, we was reading books. There's a dude named Donald S. Passman. He had a book titled Everything You Need to Know About the Music Industry.
Yeah.
So we was taking that in as teenagers, learning about how much you should pay a manager, learning about starting an LLC.
Yeah.
So we
crazy.
was on it early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we took care of business. And at a certain point, like my 4th album was Grammy nominated. Then I was like, this is a good time to pivot, start my own label, and be able to drive that energy towards my own imprint, and then give other artists an opportunity. Yeah.
That's a great pivot, too, because talking about those earlier stages, Cross Movement, man, I remember Creature Double Feature. That was the first time just hearing them talking about lust, but still using the biblical terms and scriptures, and they had bars, double entendres, punchlines. I'm like, man, this is super dope. How do you feel the space is now, currently, if you think about, because you were in there from the earlier time frame. When you mentioned Cross Movement, you're talking about ground roots. So you came through that and up to now. How do you feel the space is in CHH right now?
You know what? It was a little turbulent for a second. I think it was sort of like an identity crisis.
Give me a year. Give me a year.
Right.
Probably somewhere around 2012-ish, 13.
Wow.
So, it was a fairly young genre. So it's a lot we still trying to figure out.
Yeah.
So it was a point where some momentum started to generate.
Facts.
And then I think the artists started to think about, man, how could we expand and blow up the industry?
Yeah.
So let's try some new things. So it wasn't quite clear as to how to do that.
Right.
So some things were probably not as healthy and some things were.
Yeah.
But I do see this synergy now where there's more of a balanced approach, where artists don't feel like God is mad at them for just doing good music as a Christian.
Okay.
And you have others that are still confidently talking about scripture and theology.
All right. So, okay. So for a lot of us, like you said, it's still, to this day, it's still a baby in the game as far as business and revenue of CHH, right?
Yep.
Y'all talking cross movement. I touched Christian hip hop 2013. Obama was in his second term when I touched Christian hip hop, right?
I'm there with you.
And so if that was the pivotal moment, a lot of, I guess I thought I was an OG until y'all started talking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always said, why aren't y'all bigger artists? Because he's an artist. Like, why isn't Chevy and NCAA football not on? Because y'all spitting.
Right.
Right? What's the difference, bro?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
You want to tap in?
I think a lot of it is going to be the content. I don't think Jesus Christ is designed or for everybody. It's not going to be commercially successful in this extent to where it's going to be acceptable by everybody. It's not supposed to be. Even when he walked on earth and he's out, if you have a man out here who's healing people, making people who are blind see, making expanding the fish, 5 fish, and you know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
if that man was crucified and they had beef with him the entire time, what makes us think that we finna just we finna flip all that? We're gonna rebrand Jesus.
Yeah.
So
All right.
it's a
Okay, I'm good with that, and a lot of believers listening and watching are good with that. But you started reading the book of how to make it in the music,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
Business,
Gotcha.
Big facts.
right?
Big
And you
facts.
just said, is there a cap? And I'm asking you, is there a cap on what you can actually do?
Yeah, I would say if your content is explicitly reflective of the Bible's narrative, New Testament content, there is a cap. But I've been lately encouraging artists who are Christian. One, I have to help build the confidence in them that God is not upset if they take a different approach as a Christian artist.
Yeah.
Now, this is weird to hear me say because I came up in an era where that was shunned.
right.
My God.
So now I'm on this end trying to encourage people like God has called us to live in both realms. So you have the temporal realm where you just live regular life.
Yeah.
And then you have the spiritual realm where it's churchy stuff and
Yeah.
gospel and justification by faith, all those kind of things. So if artists who are Christian can just make good music,
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily have to be unpacking the scriptures. So they can break the ceiling and do more things. So we need good Christians in every space of life. We need good Christians who can rap about regular stuff and just take off in the mainstream market.
Flame in the building, exclusive behind the beat, NGN Radio, V Squad hanging out with me. Go ahead.
I was wondering, does that get us into charted waters, though? Like troubled waters in terms of the fans? Because I feel like the fans have always wanted more from Christian hip-hop artists than they even hold themselves accountable for. Like, they want us to be activists. They want us to be the preacher. They want us to be, you got to say Jesus more in this bar. It's like they want so much. So if you start telling artists, well, you can be the Christian man, but you don't have to be so godly and have God every bar. What happens when you start having artists now who are posting marijuana on their pages? And they're just like, well, it's legal now.
Yeah.
It's legal now. Like, I'm still talking Jesus, but I'm going to roll this up. So
Yeah.
I can see where the confusion comes in. I know the correct answer on this, but I want to hear it. Yeah.
It's a great question. So firstly, we need different genres.
Come on.
So,
CHH?
So CHH should be its own genre.
Oh, facts. Okay, yeah.
But we try to consume everything under it if the person is a Christian and they rap.
Ooh.
And that's unclear.
Big facts.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we should help each other by having different genres. And then secondly, to address the other matter, so people that want to express those liberties, they want to smoke a cigar, they want to be seen on social media drinking, they should understand that in the exclusive Christian rap genre, that's going to be more misunderstood.
Come on.
So as you're highlighting those liberties in the specific Christian rap genre, people won't really understand why you're so free to express that. But if they're in their own respective genre where they cultivate an audience that doesn't stumble over that, because they see that as, if you can express those things responsibly, you can show how the Holy Spirit can allow you to enjoy some of these things in life, but not to get drunk, not to get out of your mind where you can't function, then I think that's a better way to even show non-Christians that we're humans too, and we know how to function and be responsible and use God's good gifts in a responsible way. That's what they need to see from us, not a
Facts.
squeaky clean
Facts.
sort of moral example.
And the social media makes it difficult because anybody can follow you on social media. So there's not any gatekeeping. A lot of times, like early in the days when we were talking about the labels and things like that, they kind of control what you saw, who you're going to see, who you heard. Now with social media, everybody, if I say I rap, I make that page, anybody can follow me.
Yeah.
But we have a responsibility. So I know as a married man, if I post a picture of me with a drink and I'm on vacation celebrating my 10-year anniversary, a kid might misunderstand that. A kid's not going to know, this is my wife. Now, I'm not just out here just wilding out, just drinking, popping bottles. This is my wife. We're celebrating something, and I'm not getting drunk. But they may not understand that. So that responsibility.
Short question. Is this genre for kids?
That's a good question.
Y'all the artists.
Those are the things we have to clarify.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
like I said, we got to get genres. We got to start defining them. We have to put meaning behind the specific terms to help the audience understand what they're getting themselves into. But if it's just a CHH bubble, then the kids are there, the grown-ups are there,
Facts.
the teenagers are there, and it's kind of convoluted. So we need more clear terminology to help people know,
Man.
if I want this youth group style thing, then I go to this page.
That's-
if I don't want
Yeah.
that, then I don't go to that page.
Your fans, they kids, when you have a show, Is it Friday night youth group? Is it concert?
Yeah, I would say my fans are a mixture, but they're a unique mixture because I have a lot of deep, weighty content in my music.
You do.
So I'm going to have people they might be younger, but they want to think and work through ideas.
I got you.
Or they might be adults that's already accustomed to working through weighty things.
Yeah.
So that's important to think about. But another thing too, the church has to also help the artists, and families have to help the artists.
Come on.
You should be cultivating in your youth group. Look, we have liberties as Christians, and we also have to be concerned about our neighbor.
Yeah.
So that way, when they're on social media randomly bumping into different artists, they can better understand, okay, this dude may be out with his wife having a drink, but I'm being taught in my local church to maturely look at him without downing him or canceling him. So we need a full panorama of, teachers helping us think through what it means to be a Christian. And how to see the strong and the weak and respect it all.
I love that answer so much, and I'm going to stick with it needs to be genres inside of our Christian. Yes, because I really love that. Flame, the artist is in here right now. Let's switch it over. We talked about business. We're dabbling into the faith, but let's kind of go back. What was the song that changed everything?
Woo. Okay. I would probably say Joyful Noise.
Yeah.
So it was a record I put out 2008, and it was like rock and rap combined.
Okay.
Which was sort of like novel at the time.
Yeah.
And then I had the homie Lecrae on there. He featured on there. Yeah. So that was the record that was on the Grammy-nominated gospel rap album. So I think that was pivotal not only for myself, but for the genre in general.
Is that when you knew this is about to be the career? Like,
it took off.
T-Mobile, I got to go. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It took off.
In front of language, you know what I'm saying? It had to be a moment where you was like, all right.
Yeah, it was. And it's so crazy because I didn't leave my job until bookings and other opportunities competed with my demand to be at work. So I was still working a regular job until I just kept getting so much requests and inquiries that I was like, man, I gotta pivot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So but that was even before the Joyful Noise song that I went in sort of full time in this career path. But the Joyful Noise song elevated it, took it to the next level. It sort of cemented me in the music industry, helped me become more of a trusted brand. And people's like, he consistently for 4 projects have made good music, and then this song really took off. So that was a special moment.
Dope. Did anything switch for you artist-wise? Once these opportunities start opening up, did you feel pressure now to, I gotta follow up with another big one? Or were you still just like, no, this is me, I'm gonna let them see who I am? Did you ever have that balance of struggle of which one you're gonna go with? Because I know that can be hard.
It can be hard, but I will say I've always had a good team.
Okay.
So, I had a good team of people and filtering stuff through them. But then as a person, I always felt centered and fairly convinced of who I was from the beginning.
Yeah,
so I didn't have a lot of turbulent moments within myself. Good. Like I kind of had laser focus and been hitting the ground running since then. And just that consistency.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've been telling a lot of new acts like, you don't know when your sort of big moment is going to come.
Yeah.
Just keep putting points on the board.
And that's beautiful that you were already reading books and you talking about the publishing and the LLC and the OGs were grooming you before. So that was perfect. So when your time came, you were ready.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Then comes the radio play.
Yeah.
Right? I've been in radio for a long time, right? I've been mainstream radio. I've been on a lot of stuff. TV also, right?
Okay.
CHH, people ask me all the time, why did I leave mainstream hip-hop to come to CHH? And I felt like it was my own lane to expand. Plus, I started growing in my faith, right? Mm-hmm. Y'all don't get a lot of radio play. Well, now today, it don't matter as much, right? Y'all talking 08. Ain't no MySpace was around. MySpace was around, but it wasn't streaming. Streaming wasn't paying. Wasn't no streaming. I don't think so. Right?
Nah.
How'd you crack through?
Sheesh.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny? The way I was able to break through is sort of coming back. But it was just getting on the ground. So I was on the phone with them. Like it was like this thing they did with all the DJs. So you just do like 100 interviews in one sitting.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I was driving to different cities, different states, connecting with radio, connecting with local churches, and just passing out flyers like, hey, I'm Flame, I do this. So I was really getting hands-on with the people. And now because of the algorithm and social media, they playing so many games in terms of not exposing your material to all your followers. we back in that space where you got to figure out another way to get in front of people. So it's making us have to get active, get phone numbers, get emails, try to get
dear artists. I hope y'all listening to this.
So it's coming full circle. You got to be able to be personable again. You got to find other
Back
ways
then, you
to
could only
connect
find
with
us in
your
the bookstores.
artist.
You know what I'm saying? You wanted a Christian hip hop album, you get Barnes and Nobles. You got the new Lecrae. Exactly, right in that corner. You know, right where to get it.
Now there are CHH radio stations and outlets and podcasts and blogs.
Right.
What was the song then, Flame, that the listener going, what's this? Because I got mine, right?
Yeah.
But I want to know, what was the song for you? Was like, oh, that's the one.
Okay, I would say it's a song, two maybe. A song called Surrender, featuring the homegirl V-Rose.
Okay.
And then a song titled Move.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So them was two songs that did really good on radio. They was killing YouTube. This is before even YouTube was doing the algorithm game. So, you know, you're getting a lot of views. So them was two big records for me that really took off. And I started traveling overseas a lot more because of that. And, Surrender and Move.
Okay. You got to speak on the controversy with the songwritings. And
I was going to get to that.
Are we able to talk about it? And Is that still
sure.
ongoing? Has that been finally settled?
Yeah, it's finally settled.
Are you paid? Is what go for it, bro.
Yeah, it was wild. So that's the song "Joyful Noise," which was, you know, big for the genre, and like I said, big for me personally. So initially, I wasn't even like privy to it. It was fans hitting me up and other artists like, "Yo, you might want to look into this."
Wow.
So I reached out to my lawyer, just this young black dude in St. Louis. So
wait.
You feel me?
Wait.
Yeah,
because this story, y'all, made headlines. Go do your Googles on it.
yeah,
But when people hitting you up, right?
yeah.
Do you initially go, wow, that's cool? Or do you go, nah, bruh, I'm calling the lawyer?
Honestly, I didn't think much about it because the song had ran its course in my mind. Like, I didn't even perform it no more.
Yeah.
Unless it was like one of them spots where my fans, my OG fans was in the audience, I'd do it for them. But it had ran its course, so I didn't really think much about it. It was really other acts, and that was kind of like, man, you need to really take this seriously. So I kind of was trying to serve them. So then I just reached out to my lawyer just on some, well, they said I probably should check into this, so what you think?
Yeah.
So that's when he hired a musicologist to do the hard comparing.
Wow.
He put everything in sheet music and started to contrast with the other records.
Yeah.
Then it was like, all right.
There's full breakdowns on YouTube of it, like literally bar for bar, sheet for sheet, like that. So, man, how did that change for you during that turbulence? Because that's a lot of disruption you're trying to deal with and balance with a legal fight. Yeah. I'm still an artist. I just want to make some more music. Y'all deal with that. How did that change for you? Were people scared to work with you during that time, or did more people want to work with you because
Were you scared?
Were you scared? Yeah.
Because you start dealing with conglomerates, it's like, all right.
Yeah. I would say the legal team kept us guarded in many ways.
That's a blessing.
So kudos to them.
That's a blessing.
And then I was so locked into what I regularly do that I was able to sort of push it to the back. But I did hear the rumblings in the streets, man. Why Flame doing this? This a bad witness for the church. All these kind of like, you know, thoughts that people had out there. But I mean, it is what it is. I feel like if I give too much of an ear to what people say, it's always going to get in the way. So to me, I start looking at them like the characters in the show. It's just cool to see what they thinking. While meanwhile, I'm cool. Like, I'm chilling. You know what I mean? So I don't let it really get in my personal space. But, it was dope, man, in terms of being in that space. The cool thing was, even in court, like, I was focused on still trying to be a witness in that space.
Wow.
So I'm just kind of like we in this legal situation, I want to be a witness to all of my fellow artists to say, do your business.
Do your business,
Get your copyrights, your publishing, all of that. So I want to be an example in that regard.
Man,
like,
that's beautiful.
We Christians, but we got to own our own material. You got to protect our own material. So that was one thing I was focused on. And then I wanted to even be in court and do the case in such a way that was fair.
Wow.
It's like I'm calling you to the carpet, but I ain't trying to bite your head off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think that even went a long way. But, I mean, it was, in the end of the day, we won in a court of law with a unanimous vote. You feel me?
Hang on. All right, you got to paint the picture.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you won in a court of law.
Yeah.
You're in there. I don't even know what you got on. In my head, you got on a white button-down, black tie, skinny tie.
In my head, he looked like Tupac in there. In the video with the suit on.
But the judge says, paint the picture. Does the judge go, pow, right?
Yeah.
What happened? What they say? What your heart do when you walk down? Did you go, Mama?
Bro, my heart was beating so fast because it's that grand moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the crazy thing, it was a large jury. So, you know, normally a jury is probably about 6 people in this kind of case. But this is a federal case with a jury of 9. And we got to get a unanimous vote. Not majority, but a unanimous vote.
Yeah.
So when they called us back in the room, and it was that moment, man, my heart was beating so fast. I literally was looking around on my team like,
well, you got me thinking about Tupac, bro.
I'm like, I can't breathe. Cool, because everything matters. So if you sing panicky or too fidgety, the judge is watching that. The jurors are watching that. So you got to compose yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there breathing like, the women about to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? But then, they came in and the jurors was like, they took his song.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that was that. So it was cool, man. The celebration, the excitement, all of that, the legal team.
Did they
was
say
happy.
the payout in front of everybody?
They said the payout in front of everybody. It's all legal document, all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
So it was what it was.
New cousin hitting you up. Hey, I saw you on. Congratulations.
I want to invest in my restaurant, cuz. I make these shrimp with rice on the inside. I stuff the rice on the inside of the shrimp, cuz. I'm like, that's different.
Right.
Man.
People straight up quit their job now. Like, oh, we won. Why you quit?
All right. What year was that? 20.
That was what?
19?
Yeah, 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
All right, fast forward, pandemic hits.
Yeah.
You didn't get paid. Where you at in life, pandemic, post-pandemic? I know you got the book out now, but I just want to hit this space that everybody loses time over the pandemic. What happened after that?
Yeah. Well, first it started off like, it was just weird because I never heard of the word pandemic.
Right.
Yeah.
And then real people start, passing away, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And in terms of concerts, all that came to a halt.
Yeah.
But, again, back to the business, just owning my music and, consistently receiving that income, I was able to be settled. But then I also want to keep working. So I put out 4 projects in the pandemic. Wow. So I stayed busy, stayed cultivating, the audience, got all that material out. So that was super cool. And then...
You were still in the creative space doing that, bro?
Yeah. I was trying to... Because I'm thinking about the people. I'm like, part of my vocation is to serve them with the gift. So I'm trying to absorb what we all feeling and encourage us in the music.
You know what? You're right. Because that's when 2019, 2020 is when I got over here to Engine, and I put out the Shift the Culture. I'm not an artist, right?
Yeah.
And I was on my Cali game, and the record went stupid, right? But... So I can understand, but I just, as an artist, I was being creative because I was like, I'm the voice of the people.
Right.
As an artist, I'm like, where do you draw inspiration from when you in the political season, 2020?
Yeah.
You got George Floyd.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
You got people dying from, and you said you was...
But it's those pits, though. It's those pits that actually make the best music. Like a lot of artists, the reason why they say their first albums are the classics is because they had nothing. They in the dirt at that point.
But bro just won a case.
But everything resets with the pandemic, which you talked about. Like now we're all basically on the same level. We can't go nowhere.
Okay.
People losing jobs, people losing life, health. We don't know what's going to happen. So now we kind of all taking back to that ground roots.
Come on.
Man, I'm back at my mama house now. I'm struggling. I'm hurt. It put us all back in that. So... Beautiful projects.
4 projects.
That. Yeah.
4 projects out.
And then the crazy thing is, it got realer. So it started off in that space.
Yeah.
But then I get a phone call. They like, Flame, we need you to come back home to St. Louis. Your mom only has 2 weeks to live.
Right.
You feel me? So then I fly back home for that. So I watched her take her last breath. So I'm trying to muscle through that. Then bang, I get another phone call 9 months later. Like, Flame, your dad just died and went to be with the Lord. And they was high school sweethearts, married over 40 years. My mom was only 60. My dad was only 64. So they're relatively young.
Yeah.
So it just started to tighten down in that space. Where it's just like, woo, not only is the world suffering, but I'm suffering in this unique way personally. So so it was just that sense of.
Are you off social media at this point? Are you ducked away? Or?
By and large. But I wanted to share something about the pain. To help people understand I'm not just this character in the play.
It felt authentic when you did post it. It didn't feel like how people just be trying to do too much with it sometimes, showing a picture of the coffins or different things like that. Like they're going too far. It's like you don't grieve. Grieve. Like step back. So yours really felt authentic that you shared during that time. Absolutely.
All right, Flame is here. Just a few more minutes with him, man. Let's keep going in the career of you. At this point, you got a cloud over you. You had a victory. You got pandemic. You got all that. Then you get the cloud. When the clouds kind of raise up, a little bit after post-pandemic, where's the hunger at now? You now you an OG in the game. Over that, you're over a decade by this point.
Truly. Yeah, I would say so. I got a second win. So at the same time, that's where the theological journey comes into play. So it was a portion of it, even with the social climate, that I was sort of exhausted and confused. So I hit a space where I was like, man, I don't even know if God is real. Like I sunk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna be a Christian, because I also was simultaneously in a school of thought understood as Calvinism. So there's some healthy things in there, but then there's some unhealthy things in there.
Yeah.
So dealing with the unhealthy portions of Calvinism started to drain me. They have some ideas like Jesus didn't die for everybody.
Right.
In fact, he predestined some to not go to heaven.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm going through all this stuff, and I'm thinking like, man, like, am I one of the ones that he didn't die for? Like, so that bad idea started to tighten in on my soul. So that's when I was just like, I don't know. And that's when I was exposed to Lutheran thought that really helped me get back to the place I was originally, knowing that Jesus did, in fact, die for everybody.
You said exposed. Who gave you that? How'd you bump into that?
Man, one of my homies, man, he was at seminary in California, and his professor, who's not a Lutheran, was telling him, man, if you want to continue your theological studies, you should go to this seminary called Concordia Seminary in St. Louis.
Wow.
So he hit me up like, bro, I know you back in the hometown, and you talking about finishing your education. You should check out this school my professor told me about.
Yeah.
So I went to visit the campus. I didn't even know nothing about Lutherans. I grew up in the hood. I thought, one, who are the Lutherans? I thought they were like the cousins of the Catholics.
Right.
You feel
Let's
me?
say a cousin.
So when I found that out, I was just like, okay, cool. What do they teach? What do they believe? And I got inside the system test inside of the master's program, and I was just like, let me just sit and soak. And while I was there, it just started to build back in me that confidence in what the Lord was doing for the world, and how to better understand suffering and struggling and not trying to figure it all out and have all the answers, but to exist in that sort of mystery of it all, still trusting in God. So they building that back up in me. That's when I hit the second win. So I got out, started what's called now Extranos Academy, which is the word you was like, what is that? You feel me? So it's just a Latin phrase that means outside of us. So what God is doing is outside of us, not based on how good we are, how much we are growing. He's committed to us from beginning to end. Now, he wants us to grow, but his commitment is not based on our growth. His commitment is based on himself and his love for us.
Right.
And inside of it, he's being patient with us. He's working with us. So I said, man, I want to build this academy around those ideas. So then I got busy creating music to communicate that simple idea, to restore people that have left Christianity for one reason or another, and try to get those things back in their heart.
How's the acceptance from the fans been? Because, sometimes the fans, they just want the music. Or they're like, I don't want to go too deep on that. I'll go to my church. Are they receptive to it? Or they're inquisitive? Have you had a lot of people want to get into it and dive more? Or are they kind of scaling back and just like, I don't know. It's kind of rocky. He was over Calvinistic at first. Now he's Lutheran. What's he going to be next? Like, what's been the reception like?
Man, the timing was great. So everybody, for the most part, was in a similar space as me, because of the culture forced us it hit all of us in a juxtaposition. We all getting tapped in new spots So, like, for example, one of my homies, he came home and his dad was laying dead on the ground. And he was thinking similar stuff. Like, man, my dad was a pious man. He was faithful to church, reading his Bible all the time, healthy, young, like, what happened? You know what I mean? So he ended up leaving Christianity. And a bunch of people went through crazy stuff. Maybe they became Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
They tapping into the ethnic side of things. They
Especially after the Joy Floyd situation.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on that.
Everybody sort of just turbulent, right? So the conversation was perfect, because people were willing to deconstruct Christianity and then sort of rebuild again. So I'm in the weeds of it, talking about ancient Christianity, the origins of the faith, and how it's, after the New Testament, by and large, Christianity was sort of handed over to the North Africans who nurtured our faith. And alongside of also other European and Greek Christians and brothers, but it was this strong black presence at the origins of our faith that really supported it and helped it maneuver and mature. So I started tapping into that by way of Lutheran thought, because they valued those things. They weren't intimidated to expose those pieces of the faith, you know what I'm saying? And to say we're rooted in something that's ancient, not just something that's contemporary. So I was eating that up and putting that all in music, so the timing was great, and people started being encouraged, like, yo, this is helping me reimagine God himself. This is helping me reimagine Christianity. It's building back up in me that confidence that I once had. That's what gave me more of that fuel to the fire. You know what I mean?
I love that. Wrapping things up with Flame right here. Now, we talk music, we talk business. It's obviously he's deep into the faith.
Yeah.
Outside of that, on a Tuesday, on a Sunday doing football, what else are you into in life?
Yeah, sleep.
Come on.
Into some good sleep.
Come on.
Now, sometimes I get in my nerdy bag. I love like medieval art, so I'm gonna find some kind of art show and tap into.
Word.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. I like to cook, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm being YouTube University, learning from some OG old lady, teach me how to make some eels.
Tag
or
them in your
something
post.
exotic, you feel me? Yeah, so that's and I'm into tea. I'm a tea connoisseur. So,
You feel me? I'm gonna see.
Oh.
Hey, what y'all don't know is just before the interview started, we got the same name. Into the T. So we about to be. I'm gonna be in your DM like, yo, what should I try, bro?
Let's go.
I'm on that
Let's
T.
go.
I'm on that T game too.
Yeah.
But what's next in this season? Moving forward with Flame.
Yes, indeed. So 2024, I'm getting my first conference that'll be popping.
Nice.
So I'm super excited about that. We're going to talk about more of this kind of stuff outside of social media. So in a room with some scholars that can do some question and answer, and people that's struggling through things and have a space they can go to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be supporting the book and the new music with a tour also. 2024, excuse me. So yeah, the tour and the conference 2024.
Who you working with these days? Like when you think about tour, is it you and your nucleus, or what are you trying to do?
So I got my Brody right here, DJ Cole. He's going to be on deck. I got an artist on my label, Mike Real. He's going to be on deck with me. And so I'm also scouting, seeing who's out there that I can partner with and get that going. You know what I mean?
DM's gonna go crazy.
Yeah, he about to blow him up.
Say, bro.
Why you say that? Why you say that? Hey, man, you still in Houston, man? I'll pull up on y'all right now. I'm in the parking lot. I'm in the parking lot.
I know this interview just came out, but I was there the day I released it.
Do me a favor, Pastor Mike. Let me ask you one question about Flame.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is it like working with Flame?
So to be honest, it's
It's
terrible. No,
you gotta start. You gotta.
He quit right now. He just
I'm
quit.
like, I'm done.
I gotta drink tea every morning.
Hey, bro, he got me in tea, bro. He got me in tea. So to work with Flame, he honestly is one of the most genuine artists.
Very nice.
I know a lot of artists, and like Flame was saying earlier, this game is so small.
Yeah.
And it's new, and getting to know people even in CCM, Michael W. Smith and Matthew West and all these people.
My people.
This dude is one of the most genuine. He was the first rap artist I listened to when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm 23.
Okay.
He started his game. I was 4 years old. Trying to put an age on you, right? but no, and rap wasn't a sin in my household. I was adopted. I grew up in a white family, but rap wasn't a sin in my household. But we just didn't listen to it. We shout out to my mom. We thought Toby Mac was black for the longest time. We didn't even know, bro.
A lot of people did.
Let me help you out. When I first got to NGN, I thought NF was a group. So hey,
Okay, same. Yeah.
That's a fact. No, it's good. But yeah, no, honestly, the most genuine. When Extra Notes came out, I was telling him yesterday actually. When Extra Notes came out, I was 40,000 feet in the air on a plane to the Philippines, and I passed it to my homie that was towards the back of the plane, and I was like, "You got to listen to this." He listened to it and came back, and he's like, "Bro, I'm gonna need 4 more listens on this.
Wow.
This is too deep."
Yeah.
So it's dope. It's been a great conversation. I didn't grow up Lutheran, so he's been challenging me in my faith, you know, and vice versa.
That's what
That's beautiful.
It's
Exactly.
amazing. It's
Exactly.
amazing.
All right, I love it, man. Flame, thank you so much for stopping through, bro.
Yes,
one more
indeed.
time, tell them about your book, your tour, all of this stuff coming up, and your social media so people can follow you.
So tap in extranosacademy.com. So that's EXTRANOS academy.com. So there you'll get all things Flame. But that's why I had a book information to be there, which releases July 11th. The tour, which will be popping 2024. We got more music coming out this year. So all things extranosacademy.com or social media at Flame 314. That's on all spaces.
Yeah.
TikTok at Flame.
You dance on
Extra
TikTok?
Nose.
You dance on
Can't
TikTok?
take it there, man.
Okay. I was gonna say, I said one thing. I said, hey, I'm not gonna be dancing on TikTok. I don't care what y'all say.
What we not gonna do?
B Squad, your social media, real quick.
At V Squad Music on all social media.
All right, and it's at Marcus Sullivan Live at NGEN Radio. You want to follow NGEN Radio? That's at NGEN Radio. Me personally, that's at Marcus Sullivan Live. Flame, stop through behind the beat, man.
Yes, sir,
Great
Steve.
stuff, man. You when you come out with more stuff, you always got a home here, bro.
Thank
Every
you,
time.
brothers.
All right,
and,
back-
at DJ Cole. What's your joint? At DJ Cole.
DJ Code _
There it is.
Wait,
At DJ
spell
Cole.
that. Spell that, dog.
Yeah.
So my last name is COAD.
Okay.
But my DJ name is CODE. So DJ CODE and then _.
They can send you music.
They can.
I'm just trying
all your
to
music. Send all your music to at DJ Cole _
I was just trying to get his DM to go crazy.
Yeah.
Why you tell them that, man?
Exactly. I know it's DJ.
I'm getting wiggity waxing and stuff. That's how we do it right here. It is NGEN Radio. More of your favorites along the way. Don't move.
Yeah.
But the question is, how do we personally get the benefits of the forgiveness of sin that Jesus earned universally on the cross?